All right, welcome to another edition of Mike Finds Things. This is going to be our 78 only edition. The lot of 78s I picked up, I don't know, a few weeks ago off Craigslist. I've alluded to it in other videos. I finally kind of went through them. It's also our New Year's Eve special since when it posts, it'll be the day before New Year's Eve. And we wanted to get this out. And I've also picked up more records at more estate sales and thrift store stuff that'll be probably next week's video, because I really don't think there's going to be any more estate sales probably until after the New Year's anyway. So I'll be doing that video hopefully in a few days. I generally like to do the videos and have them post. That way they're already up and everything else. But there was there was a lot of 178s that I bought for $100. 16 of them were kind of like duds. Like, they were ones that probably no one would ever really care about. There was like a Mantovani and like a Bing Crosby in there and just stuff like that. The rest of them were really good. The story is the guy's dad had a record collection. He passed away. The son's selling off a lot of the records. He was looking at he was started selling some of the 78s. Some of them, I guess, got broken in shipment, or he was worried about them getting broken in shipment, so he stopped doing that and just decided to sell those as a lot. Some of them he kind of priced himself. Most of them he priced too high. So basically, he posted it on Craigslist. I saw the ad. It said it was LPs, and when you clicked on the photo, it had like it had them in these plastic sleeves, and it made it look like they were, like, if you just glanced at it and saw the word LP, you'd think, oh, these are LPs, and they're just missing the sleeves. Why do I want that? And then I noticed that the one on top, the one in the picture, was a Chess 78 label. And I looked closer. I was like, wait, these are 78s. I said, if he's got a Chess, what else is in there? So I met up with this guy at a 7-Eleven, and we did the deal in a 7-Eleven parking lot. He says he has other records he might be calling me about. And I also bought some LPs that were in a previous video. There were only a few LPs I bought from him because they happened to be in his car. But we're going to go through these right now. You're going to see what's here. There's a lot of blues, a lot of doo-wop, early rock and roll, early R&B, and there's, I know for sure, there's like one Rockabilly record, and there's actually a doo-wop record that was recorded and pressed right here in Pasadena, literally like 2 miles from my house. So without further ado, I'm gonna probably do 10 at a time, and then everything will get edited together. That way I don't wind up with a huge stack of 78s that might go flying somewhere and get broken. So it's the 78 Palooza. Sorry, no Northern Soul this week. I will be doing a video on what's in my Northern Soul box at some point, because there's a lot of good stuff in there, and I know the Northern Soul guys probably want to see that, so that'll be coming in a future video to make up for this one, because it's all 78s. First one is Oscar McLawley and the Honey Jumpers with the Honey Jump Part 1 with Part 2 on the other side. I've run across this one before. He marked it as being worth 20 to 50. As his price is that this is what he marked it at. I don't think it goes for that much. Like I said, I've run across these before. I think it might have been a local record, but that's one. Some of these I wrote down the year, some I didn't. Freddie Mitchell Orchestra, Dobie's Boogie. He said he estimated at 5 to 10. I tend to agree with it on that. This is like a boogie woogie. I've got another Freddie Mitchell. So it's Dobie's Boogie with the hog head on the other side. I've got another one that I got in a previous lot. I think these were like, these are like boogie woogie, that type of stuff. So that one's kind of cool. This one I already had. This one he wrote in his little notes, not in book, estimated 5 to 10. I seem to remember looking it up, and they were worth a little bit more than that. Big Girl by Howard Rumsey's Lighthouse All-Stars. And I believe when I looked this up before, this was in that 78 lot. It's got swing shift on the other side. There was one of these in that 78 lot I got. That's one of my earlier videos, and I believe it was like a local LA record on that one. Some of these came from the same lady, because a lot of them say Betty Smith on them. That one did not, but you'll see there's a bunch of them with like Betty Smith's name. Melancholy Madeline. This one's a jazz record from 1945, and I saw it on Discogs. It sold for $15. Johnny Moore's Three Blazers. And the B-side is Marine, and it's got like a 19-cent stamp there from back when. So it's probably one of the discounted record that hadn't sold. Usually when you find those stamps, that's what those are. This one's an R&B record. I didn't write down the year though. 10 to 20 says what the guy said it should go for. Country Girl, Memphis Slim, and the House Rockers. So an early R&B from probably the early 50s. And Believe I'll Settle Down. This one's in really nice condition too. And it's on the old Swingmaster label. So kind of a cool record label. They were out of, doesn't have the name of the city or anything. Oh, out of Chicago, Illinois was the name, was where that label was out of. Here's one on Savoy, which there's a lot of like doo-wop and jazz and stuff on that. This one's a doo-wop record, You're a Part of Me by the Four Buddies. I'll take that one out of the plastic. I gotta put these in regular sleeves because they slide around. That's why I only want to do several at a time. He said this one should go for between 40 and 70. The Story Blues on the other side, you see the label's got a little bit of a tear there. He estimated it at 40 to 70. I think he looked it up in like an old price guide or something. But some of the ones he couldn't find prices on, I was able to look online and find a price. I said Discogs is a lot of times is useless on 78s. We got Doo-Wopper from 1954, and he marked it at $50 to $100, and it said it sold on Discogs for $4. So I don't trust Discog prices anyway. On Robin Records out of New York, Dear One by the Scarlets. This is one of the Betty Smith ones where she put her name on it. So that one is Dear One, and then the B-side is I've Lost. This one's a doo-wopper from 1954. Not sure if it's out there. I have one coming up that I couldn't even find another 78 copy of. I can only find 45s. This one is a doo-wopper from 1955. He estimated this one at 75 to 100, which, like I said, some of these doo-wops do go for good money. And I think he looked them up in price guides, not necessarily online. What Did She Say by the Solitaires on Old Town Records out of New York City. As you can imagine, being very careful, especially with the ones where he seemed to think they were worth a lot. And I'm guessing this is the this is My Dear Solitaires. And you can see Betty Smith wrote her name on that side. But the record on this one's in really amazing condition. Most 78s aren't in good condition when you find them, especially doo-wop and stuff like that. This one he estimated at 20 or 30. It's a blues record. Smokey Hogg with his rhythm accompaniment. Baby, Don't You Tear My Clothes. So keep in mind, I got this whole box for $100. So, and there were 84 good ones in there. Highway 51 is the B-side, Smokey Hogg. And coming up on the next one, we got Charles Brown. This one's a blues record from 1951. He estimated it at 25 to 50, I believe, from a price guide. Black Knight by Charles Brown on Aladdin. There's a lot of good stuff on Aladdin from back then. And the B-side is Once There Lived a Fool, and it's got Betty Smith that fortunately put her name like on the dead wax and not on the label on this one. So that might actually come off. Next one. We got a doo-wopper from 1955. He estimated it at 40 to 70. Who knows? I didn't look it up for price. But Eternally Yours by the Barons on Imperial. And the other side is Boom Boom. And it's a doo-wop record, not a blues record. Normally, you see Boom Boom, you're going to think John Lee Hooker or something like that. But no, that one is Boom Boom by the Barons. I did find a B.B. King 78 at a estate sale this past weekend. That'll be probably in next week's video. I got that in a Bo Diddley, so I still have to go through all those records. And this is the Rivaliers. I don't have anything. This is a doo-wopper on Baton Records out of New York City. 1,000 Stars by the Rivaliers. I'm sure it's like doo-wop guys that are like freaking out. So if any of you guys are like really well versed in the doo-wop stuff, have at it. Hey Chiquita is the other side. I promise you there's going to be some hits. There's going to be some stuff you've heard of, at least some artists you've heard of coming up in this video as well. Okay, so this is like my third take of getting this little section of records. I got a phone call and I had a guy come by, like a salesman. So this is not going well today. This one the guy estimated at 15 to 20. All Die Happy, Louis Jordan is Timpani 5. We find a lot of Louis Jordan is Timpani 5, usually on Decca. The other side is Ooh Wee. He estimated at 15 to 20. I'm not sure how rare the Aladdin ones are of his. I know we find the Deccas a lot. Here's a doo-wopper. This one he estimated at 15 to 20. This one is a cool minor label. The Diablos, I Want an Old-Fashioned Girl, featuring Nolan Strong. On Fortune Records out of Detroit, Michigan. And then on the other side is Adios, My Desert Love. So we got that. We got this one he estimated at 50 to 75. It's another doo-wopper. This is the Five Pearls, Please Let Me Know. And it looks like Betty might have had an address or her name on there in tape. And unfortunately, it's in the dead wax, so it'll probably come off. And Real Humdinger, Five Pearls on the other side. So I said there's a lot of doo-wop. There is a rockabilly coming up, I swear. Here's a blues record. He estimated this one at 20 to 30. This one, unfortunately, she did put her name on a sticker over the label. Let Me Go Home, Whiskey, Amos Milburn, and his Aladdin Chicken Shackers on Aladdin as well. A lot of good stuff on Aladdin on 78. And Three Times a Fool. So this one is actually a blues record. And this one is this one actually I got a year. It's 1951. Sells on Discogs between 9 and 25. And he estimated at 20 to 30, his own estimations. And this one, like I said, is the blues. Peppermint Harris, I Got Loaded on Aladdin as well. And It's You, Yes It's You on the other side. So that one's a cool find. So we actually have a year. We have a value that it sold for on Discogs, which Discogs, like I said, for 78 is not the greatest. 52. This one's a jazzy bluesy number. Sells for $5. He said it wasn't in his book. This is Jimmy Forrest and Orchestra with Blue Groove. I think I've got some other Jimmy Forrest coming up in like another video as well. I think I found some at the estate sale that was this weekend up the road here. And Hey Mrs. Jones. This one's on United. And like I said, more of a jazzy bluesy number. Going through here. We got a 1952 R&B. This one has sold for on Discogs between $9 and $22. He estimated at 40 to 70. The Five Royales, it's like it says early R&B. Take All of Me on Apollo. And then on the other side, Baby Don't Do It. That's on Apollo Records out of New York City. So next one, we got another Freddie Mitchell. Like I said, I found a few Freddie Mitchells before on Derby, and she wrote her name right on the label since it had a nice white label to write her name on it. Madeira Hop. So I don't know if that's referring to Madeira, California. And Cold Heat on the other side. So definitely some boogie woogie, some jumping swing there. I always like the Freddie Mitchell records though; they're good stuff. This one's from '54. This is a doo-wopper. This one has sold for 30 on Discogs. He estimated at 20 to 30, so he's probably right on. The harp tones with accompaniment by the Chi-Tans. Why Should I Love You on Bruce Records out of New York. So this one is a doo-wop record. And on the other side we got Forever Mine. I'm sure some like doo-wop guys either going like, if you're into this stuff, put it in the comments. Here's one that's a little more recognizable. 1952 blues record on Chess. We've got Willie Mabin and his combo with Worry Blues. There's actually, I think there's 2 chest labels in here. Like I said, that's what clued me into what these were in the picture. And I don't know on the other side. And he estimated that one at 10 to 15. I did not look up, I did not find a value online on that one. So I did find it was from 1952. And here's one I didn't look up because I kind of know what it is. This is Clyde McPhatter and the Drifters on Atlantic, The Way I Feel. You all know who the Drifters are, I'm assuming. And with Money Honey on the other side. And of course, Betty put her name on that one as well. All right, so continuing on, we've got, here's one that I think most of you know. This is Lloyd Price. It's actually in a sleeve inside the paper there, inside the plastic. Lottie Miss Claudie. You can see where it had probably Betty's name on that one, Lloyd Price, with Mailman Blues on the other side on specialty. You know, most of you guys know who Lloyd Price is. So R&B from the 1950s on 78 on specialty. Joe Houston comes up a lot as well. We found other Joe Houstons. Usually kind of like a boogie woogie. He played the sax. It was good stuff. We got Blow Joe Blow on modern. He had listed this as being worth 10 to 15. I find a lot of Joe Houston, especially locally here, and Comeback Baby on the other side. And he had like a long career playing the saxophone. And here's one. Here's one if you know Doo-wop. This one's a pretty famous one. He had it listed saying it was worth about 8 to 12. Let me take this post-it off that he put on there. This is the Eldorados at My Front Door on VJ. That one that's a really well-known song. And Baby What's Bugging You on the B side. So that's one of the more, there's a few famous ones that, you know, probably recognizable if you know a little bit about doo-wop and R&B. And here's one, here's an R&B one. This one's pretty well known, and of course, she put her name on this one as well. Honey Hush, Joe Turner, and Crawdad Hole on the other side on Atlantic. So Honey Hush is well known, very well known song there. Coming up, some more well known stuff here. We got the Cadillacs, and since her name was Betty, and this song's called Betty My Love, she wrote her name all over the label. Thanks, Betty. And the other side is Woe Is Me. And we got more Cadillacs coming up for you as well. Not Speedo, though. I did find a Speedo the week after. I found a Cadillac Speedo on 78 in really poor condition, but I bought it anyway. That'll be coming up in a future video, probably next week's. But Betty My Love with Woe Is Me, unfortunately with Betty Smith written all over the Betty My Love side. This one he estimated at 150 to 200. I probably should have verified that. It's a doo-wopper. The 5 blue notes on Sabre Records and Ooh Baby. And we got My Gal Is Gone on the other side. I said, it's pretty cool. This guy just did not want to have to ship these. That's why he just said, I need room. They got to go. So I kind of got lucky on these. This one has a very, very dirty title. It's a doo-wopper. It sells between 25 to 50 according to its price guide. I didn't really look it up. And this one is, I Love to Play Your Piano, in parentheses. And the main title is, Let Me Bang Your Box. I swear, look at that. I'm not lying. That's the name of the record. Those old rock and roll songs are all about sex. This one's a doo-wopper. You're laughing because I'm crying is on the other side, which is probably appropriate right now. But yeah, like I'll let you look at that again, so you know I'm not just like making this up. That's the name of the song. Very dirty, but kind of cool. Kind of like a picture of the 1950s there. Here's one he estimated at 20 to 40. I didn't look it up. It is doo-wop on Baton Records, The Rivaliers, 1,000 Stars. And Betty had to write her name and put it in a piece of tape as well on that one. And Hey Chiquita on the other side. Were people really dragging these out to parties that much back then? Because, man, these things break if you look at them funny. We got a doo-wopper from 56. I can't find, this is one I can't find another copy on 78 online. I found it on 45 several times, so I can't find any instances of a 78 in existence. His note says he couldn't even find it in the book. I think the 45 actually sold for decent money. This one's Jesse Belvin with Betty My Darling. Gee, I wonder why Betty bought that one. There you go, on Hollywood Records. And the other side is Dear Heart. And of course, I believe Betty wrote her name on that one too. Betty had to autograph that one as well, naturally. Still, it's kind of cool if it's that rare on 78 that I can't find another copy, but I can find 45 copies. That's kind of neat. Here's one we've seen Big J McNeely before. This one's a jazz record. 15 to 25 is what he estimated at. Penthouse Serenade. It's definitely jazz. I played this one last night, and just crazy. I believe I've got a couple other Big J McNeelys in the collection as well. We got another Joe Houston. This one's Atom Bomb on Imperial. He estimated this one at 15 to 30. I tend to agree with Windy City Hop on the other side, and of course Betty had to autograph this one as well. There you go, Atom Bomb. So another one from Joe Houston for all you saxophone fans. And we got this one, he estimated at 20 to 40. Not sure if it's worth that much. On Jewel, Ain't Gonna Cry by K-Star with Bell Pollock and Orchestra. I didn't really make any notes on this one too much. And on the other side, we got Honey. And it's J1000. So I'm guessing that was the first record put out by that label. So that might make it a little bit more interesting. And they were out, that record label was out of Hollywood, California. We got another Big J McNeely. This one he estimated at 15 to 25. This one is on exclusive. This is Junie Flip. And on the other side, we got K&H Boogie. So Big J McNeely's, like I said, they come up, at least locally. I don't know if it was like a local thing or, I mean, this label, I don't know where the exclusive label's out of. Here's one on King, though. This one's a boogie woogie with a lot of saxophone. $10 to $20. It's a Tiny Bradshaw, off and on. Fortunately, Betty had the mind to put it on a sticker on the dead wax that might actually come off. And Free for All. There we go. And speaking of local records, there's one on Duotone. It's always nice to find a Duotone, especially 78. On Central Avenue in Los Angeles. This one is John Julian and the Meadowlarks, Always and Always. He estimated this one at 20 to 40. And I got Tore Up. So that's kind of a local LA record. Any of the Duotones are. And we got, I think we promised in the other video when I alluded to these, I said there were some Ray Charles. And there's definitely some Ray Charles. He estimated this one at 15 to 25. It's in nice condition. Ray Charles with The Mess Around on Atlantic. And on the other side, we got Funny. Of course, Mess Around's the A side. Very well-known Ray Charles song. All those people want them for their jukeboxes, stuff people know on 78. And here's one you're going to know if you know a little bit about doo-wop. You'll know at least the group. This one is on Jubilee. Maybe You'll Be There by the Orioles. And he estimated this one at 15 to 45. And then on the other side, we've got Drowning Every Hope I Ever Had. On the other side, Orioles, of course, pretty well-known doo-wop group. Here's one you're going to know the group name, but it's not that group. So let's go into that one. This one I had the sleeve, so when I found it, there happened to be an MGM sleeve sitting right there, so I grabbed it. You're Mine by the Crickets, not Buddy Holly and the Crickets. This is a doo-wop group called the Crickets, and Milk and Gin on the other side. Like I said, don't get excited. It's not Buddy Holly. It's a doo-wop group that happens to be called the Crickets. So another Joe Houston, Joe Go on Lucky Records out of Hollywood. This one he estimated at 15 to 20, and the other side, both sides are Go Joe Go. So we got two Joe Go. I don't know. Like I said, we find a lot of Joe Houstons. I even found that Joe Houston LP in one of my videos. And we got the Platters on Federal, which usually you see them on Mercury. Tell the World on one side, and on the other side we've got Love All Night by the Platters. So, and I don't think we had an estimate on that one, but obviously we know who the Platters are. Speaking of the Platters on Mercury, we've got a big one of theirs, Only You on Mercury, and Bark, Rattle, and Ball on the other side. Right there. I probably should have taken it out of the plastic, but he estimated this one. He didn't estimate this one, so who knows. A big hit, Only You by the Platters, though. All right, so speaking of the Platters, I actually found a great pretender. I think it's in next week's video, those stacks. So I do find quite a bit of Platters, usually on Mercury. It's one of those like late 50s, kind of like doo-wop-y, R&B type stuff that I actually find quite a bit. Here's another one by the Orioles, Crying in the Chapel on Jubilee. He estimated this one at 25 to 50. I tend to agree with that, even though it's got the tear in the sleeve there. That's one people know. Obviously a doo-wopper. Don't you think I ought to know is the B-side on that one on Jubilee? But it looks like somebody tried to take maybe Betty's name off or something and tore the label, but pretty well-known song there. Here's another one, or artist at least, that's pretty well-known. This one he estimated at 7 to 10. Not one of the monster ones everybody knows. I can't get this. Some of the post-it notes didn't come off very easily. It does have Betty's name on a piece of tape, but all by myself, Fats Domino. I've actually got a copy of Blueberry Hill on a 78 somewhere that's on Imperial as well, and Troubles of My Own on the other side from the Fat Man Fats Domino on Imperial. And this one is a Boogie Woogie record on Aladdin. This one he estimated at 5 to 10. Tiddlywinks by Lloyd Glenn and Band. And then Sunrise on the other side. So another Aladdin. And we're rolling in. I'm going to try to go these a little faster. This one's a doo-wopper. I didn't write down the year. He seemed to think it was worth 30 to 60. This one's Without a Song by the Checkers with Betty's name on it again. On King. And White Cliffs of Dover. So another doo-wopper for you. And we got way more doo-wop to go. There's literally one Rockabilly record in here, and now the sun's in my face. It's getting. I was trying to get this done before the end of the day, but then I kept getting interrupted. This one's the Castells, the doo-wopper, Over a Cup of Coffee on Grand Records. A very basic looking label there. And Baby Can't You See by the Castells on this side. I have no value on that year or anything else, but it is doo-wop. Most of the ones I couldn't figure out, I played and played for a little bit to see what it was, just so I could bring you a video. This one, he estimates it at 50 to 75, probably from a book. It's a doo-wopper on R&B Records is the name of the record label. The Jewels, Oh Yes I Know, and this record company's out of Hollywood. And then on the other side, A Fool in Paradise. So that one's probably got a little bit of value. Like I said, I don't know if some of his values I looked up, some of them were spot on, some of them were high, some were low. I don't know. I don't know if he's going off of like nicer ones. Davey Upset My Home by Joe Tex, and Betty put her name on that one as well. And Come in This House, Joe Tex. He estimated that one at 25 to 50. Another Joe Houston. I'm just going to tear through this one on Bayou Records. This guy must have recorded for every record label on the planet back then. Saber Jet. And this one is Moody. Another Joe Houston and the Rockets. So, actually, this is Joe Houston Orchestra. Some of them are Joe Houston and the Rockets. Which makes it really fun when you're Googling it, because you always come up with like Houston Rockets stuff, when you're looking for Joe Houston and the Rockets, go figure. Baton, he estimated this one at 15 to 25. And this one's an R&B, Are You Satisfied? And Cole with the Dave McRae Orchestra. And of course, Betty put her name on that one as well. And on the flipper, we got Darlin', Don't Hurt Me. So we're going to put that one away. These ones I'm going to put these in real sleeves. Once I get that. This one, he had a post-it note, and it actually damaged one of the labels on one side, which you'll see. And this one is a doo-wopper, and he estimated at 15 to 25. And you can see he actually had a post-it note. It must have been on the end, and maybe the sun hit it. On Flair Records, You're Mine, Shirley Gunther and the Queens. I believe Flair was an LA label as well, if I'm not mistaken. But You're Mine on that side. Unfortunately, the label got messed up because it was a post-it note there. And Y on the other side. So that label's fine on that side. That's the only time I've seen that where a post-it note's like done damage to a label. Even in all these, like that's the only one that's damaged. So I'm guessing it must have been on top of a stack in the sun or something. Another Joe Houston on Bayou, Big Pigtails. Not gonna go too crazy on that one. And Chitlin on the other side, another Joe Houston. This one does not have his orchestra apparently. It just says Joe Houston. I said, you just know with a Joe Houston record you're getting. It's a really nice saxophone. This one is another Joe Houston. God, we really like Joe Houston here. Bobby Sox Ramble on one side. I'm not going to take it out. And we got Hurricane. Hurricane, I actually have this. This was in that 78 estate sale lot. One of the first videos I did that was all 78s. There was a copy of that in there. This one he estimated at 8 to 12. Evening Train by Eunice Davis with orchestra. It's an R&B one. And I'm a Wild West Woman on the other side on Derby. And that one escaped the pen. Escaped Betty's pen on that one. Let's see. We're going into another one. We got another Jay McNeely. This one's on Imperial. He estimated this one at 15 to 25. All That Wine Is Gone on one side. And we got Don't Cry Baby. This is like the second time I filmed the video where it was overcast. I thought we have great lighting for it. And then at the end of the video, I got sun in my eyes. But let's cheer on anyway. This one he estimated 25 to 50. This one's on Atlantic. Chuck Willis, Kansas City Woman. Let me see if I can get it so it doesn't blind you there. And It's Too Late on the other side. Okay, so he actually wound up putting some of these in. They weren't in the sleeve, and so I put them in sleeves, the more interesting ones. We got Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys with My Confession. So now for something completely different. And Whose Heart Are You Breaking Now? Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys. So we got some Western swing for you there. Like I said, not everything. Like I said, there's a Rockabilly record coming up too, so just to change things up even more. We got Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt, which I'm filming this actually right before Christmas. Of course, it's going to air after Christmas, but Santa Baby, Eartha Kitt, massive hit. It's got F12 on it, so I'm guessing it came out of somebody else's collection. That one plays fine. I was listening to it last night because I was in that Christmassy mood. Another big Jay McNeely. We got Teenage Hop. And on the other side, Hometown Jamboree. This one he estimated at 20 to 30. That was his estimations. Here's one I think most of you guys are going to know, I would assume. This one sells, according to him, between 20 and 30. I don't know if that's true or not. And it's in amazing condition for 78. It's Buddy Knox, Party Doll on Roulette. I think everybody knows that song. My Baby's Gone. I said there are a few massive hits in here that most people will know. No autographs, no stickers, nothing like that. So that one's definitely a cool find. Here's one that I'm assuming in fact, I was listening to like the 50s channel on Sirius, and this came on earlier, and I thought, I got to make that video. This one, he says it goes between 20 to 30. Five Satins and The Still of the Night on Ember Records. If you know doo-wop, you definitely know that song. And The Jones Girl by the Five Satins. So, like I said, there is some more famous stuff in here as well. We got another Joe Turner. This one he estimated at 10 to 30. This one's a little scratchy. You Know I Love You on one side. And of course the big one everybody knows. It is a little scratchy. I think I played it and it played fine though. Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Joe Turner. And we do have a Betty sticker on there. unfortunately, but on Atlantic. So obviously a very, very famous Joe Turner record there. Here's that Rockabilly record you guys have been waiting on. This was from 1956. Sammy Masters and his Rockin' Rhythm. I think I looked it up. This actually sells for a lot of money. I didn't write it down, though. I think this is before I was writing down the value. I think I forgot to write down the value. Pink Cadillac, Sammy Masters, and his Rockin' Rhythm on 4-star. I think I read online this guy was like a car salesman in Hollywood. He estimated it 10 to 15, but when I looked it up, it seemed like it was a lot more than that. And Some Like It Hot on the other side. But that's a Rockabilly one. I think I read he like moved out to Hollywood to make it big, and then he was selling cars. And here's one I already had. Another Big Jake McNeely. This is the Goof. This is a good one too. This one he estimated at 75 to 100. I seem to remember when I looked it up on the other one, it was worth something like that. And Big J Shuffle on the other side. Oh, sorry, this isn't that one. This one he estimated at 15 to 25. It's the next one that he estimated higher. Sorry. I do have a copy. This was in that the guy that had the folk music shop that they were selling off all his records. And then I found that one book that had all the good stuff in it. Here's one. This one he says is 75 to 100. And it's another one by the Cadillacs. This one's Gloria. Not the Them song. Not the band. It's Gloria. It's a doo-wopper. And I wonder why. And of course we saw some Cadillacs earlier. And the next video I'll have I got the copy of Speedo that I got at another estate sale on 78. Unfortunately that one is not in this condition, which I wish it was. And that one I may have found something from the King of Rock and Roll on 78, so that'll be coming up in the next video. Not on Sun though, on RCA. So I'm not gonna tease you that bad. It is on RCA, but it is by the King of Rock and Roll. I'm assuming you know who that is. This one's only 10 to 15. This one's Bobby Scott with Chain Gang, not the Sam Cooke song. And of course Betty had her way with this one as well. Put her name on that one. And on the other side is Shadat, which it's not the Beastie Boys song. Believe me, it's not. If it's on 78, it's not the Beastie Boys song. So we did find that one. Here's another one on Flair. This is the Chimes, My Heart's Crying for You. So another doo-wopper. And this one is Love Me, Love Me, Love Me, Love Me on Flair. I like finding those Flair ones as well. Those are cool. And we're gonna get in. We got a Duke one. We got this one. This one he estimates it at 30 to 50 is what he estimated. Betty put her name on this one and tore the label as well. The Sultans with the Johnny Otis Orchestra. How deep is the ocean? No, it's How Deep Is the Ocean. Obviously the rest is torn off. And Good Thing Baby on the other side with a better looking label. So that's kind of a neat doo-wopper. We got another one. Here's another famous one. You should know. I'm assuming you know doo-wop. You know this song. Sincerely by the Moonglows on Chess. And on the other side we got Tempting. But Sincerely, obviously a massive hit. But nice to find one on 78. And here we go. We got the Clovers on Atlantic. He did not estimate this one, nor did I. Hey Miss Fanny on one side. With fortunately she put her name in the dead wax on that one as well. And I Played the Fool on the other side by the Clovers. Assuming we know who the Clovers are. Another one that we found on Atlantic. This one he says sold for 10 to 15. So I didn't really look it up. But Clyde McPhatter and the Drifters with Lucille. And on the other side we got Such a Night. Okay, coming into the next one. Here's one that was actually a record company from my town here. This is a doo-wopper from 1953. The record company, and from what I could read online, the pressing plant was actually here in Pasadena on North Fair Oaks, 1486 North Fair Oaks, which I looked it up. It is a vacant lot now. It's actually in a bad part of town. The Squires, Jackie Kelso, and Orchestra, Breath of Air on Vita Records. I guess this guy ran a few labels out of the same place, and he had his own pressing plant. And Betty Smith decided she wanted to write her name 3 times because she liked this one so much. And Venus is on the other side with Betty Smith's autograph. Unless Betty Smith was in a lot of doo-wop groups, and then she just autographed all her records. I can't doubt that. But that's a neat find because obviously that address, that's like a 5-minute drive maybe from here. So that's cool local history for me, at least. And it's a doo-wopper, which I like. This one he estimated at 10 to 30. This is Nature Boy Brown and his Blues Rambler with Windy City Boogie on United, and Blackjack Blues on the other side. So that's kind of a cool find. And coming into the next one, we got Oscar McLawley and his Honey Jumpers. We found the Honey Jumper records before. All That Oil in Texas. This one's a doo-wopper. It goes for 10 to 20. All That Oil in Texas. And on the other side, Be Cool My Heart. Got that. Okay. I think we're getting down to the last few records here, unbelievably. Hopefully you're still tuned in for our New Year's Eve special. We got another one by the Crickets. Not those Crickets again. This is the doo-wop group. I'll Cry No More. And on the other side, For You I Have Eyes. So it's a different Crickets. It's a doo-wop group. This one he estimated between 50 and 75, which who knows. Cool. Like I said, this stuff was just a killer find. I still can't believe I snagged all these. I just couldn't figure out how to get them in the video until now. Here we go. We got the Clovers. This one he estimated at 30 to 60. So a lot of it is just because he didn't want to send these things because he was afraid they're going to break. And he wanted to mess up his eBay ratings. Ting-a-Ling by the Clovers on Atlantic. And we got Wonder Where My Baby's Gone on the other side. Okay, now the sun's ducking behind the house across the street. We're about to lose sunlight, so we're close. And of course, we love Johnny Ace, so we're gonna go on Duke Records. We got The Clock by Johnny Ace and the Beale Streeters. And we got Ace is Wild on the other side. Let's get on Duke. No autographs on that one. He estimated that one at 10 to 15. Fortunately, there wasn't a copy of Pledging My Love. That would have been nice. I really like that song. That's like one of my favorite songs. We got more Johnny Ace, not Pledging My Love, though. We got Angel. And we got Cross My Heart on the other side. So, and then she put her sticker in the dead wax, fortunately. So there is a chance to remove it. And here's one by the Flames on Flair Records. I Had a Love. That one doesn't have a crack. It's just the way the sun's hitting it. And this one is She Wants to Rock on Flair. So that one's a cool one. From 1953. I put it was rock and roll and doo-wop. So I think one side was more rock and rollish, and I'm guessing the She Wants to Rock was more rock and rollish, and I Had a Love side was more doo-wop because that's what I wrote on here. I listened to that last night. Rock and roll. This one is on Savoy Records. She put her name on there. So this one is the 78 theme song. Don't drop it. That's good instructions for when you're handling 78s. This one's by Wilbert Harrison. I can't talk today. Wilbert Harrison, and of course you can't see it because she put her name on there. It's not by Betty Smith, sorry. And the other side is The Ways of a Woman. That's on Savoy Records. So that is the ever cool, the one I keep alluding to, the cool R&B doo-wop, one Rockabilly record, and some duds that I didn't throw in the video. Lot that I got off Craigslist a few weeks ago. Definitely some cool stuff there. I got everything for like $100. I think I did pretty darn good. That's just a killer collection. I got some more stuff coming up that I bought in a estate sale. Literally like blocks from here. It was a record only estate sale. It was supposed to be all LPs, and I get there and there were 78s. So, and I was pretty much the only guy going through the 78s. So that's always good. I did buy some LPs, but there were just too many people looking through the LPs. and including one of them's like a free to paint, so there was like some soul there. Next week I'll have that video. Of course, some records I got another sale. We got some soul stuff. I got that Elvis 78. I got that copy of Speedo by the Cadillacs. A couple of doo-woppers, a lot of interesting stuff that I found last week that I need to organize those records and go through them and make a video for that. This is actually a lot of work to make these videos, which I kind of have to do them whenever I can. I've also got the other channel, which is my name, Mike Frankovich. There's a link in the description where I do a lot of classic car stuff, and that's my bigger channel. We actually just hit 5,000 subscribers today, a couple hours ago, so I'm really happy about that. And that channel's just tearing it up. But that's what I have for you for our Mike Finds Things New Year's Eve special. And we'll have that other video for you next week, and then hopefully I'll be finding even more things and more records. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.